It's been 133 days since there was a last piece of competitive football here at the Bob Lucas Stadium. Both teams they weren't entirely sure if the playoffs were going to go ahead at one stage, but here we are in the semi-final. Dorking Wanderers, of course, beating Bath City at Twerton Park last Saturday in a very, very impressive 2-1 victory. They're going to be expecting to come here and try and put Weymouth to the sword. Manager Mark White is extremely confident, saying that it's up to Weymouth to stop their side and not the other way around. But Weymouth are here and full of confidence. They've got one of the best home records in the division this season, with only 3 home defeats, and they are most certainly going to be here ready to try and get through to face Dartford in the playoff final next Saturday. So looking at team news for Weymouth, the home side, they're going to start in goal with Callum Ward, a loanee from Bournemouth. Brennan Camp, we're expecting to operate as a centre-half. Ollie Harfield will play as a left-back or left wing-back. They've got Jordan Angalo, who's going to move forward up the field, will probably play in the right wing position. Jake McCarthy, the captain Josh McCoyd. Jaden Anthony, on loan from Bournemouth as well, will probably operate towards the left wing. Josh Wakefield takes up his place in midfield, along with Andreas Robinson, who had a long spell out with injury this season. Kelvin Brooks, of course, will operate as the right back or right wing back, and Sean Hobson make up the 11 with a centre-half partner for Brennan Camp. On the bench, Mark Childs, Stefan Zuber, the experienced centre-half, formerly of Bournemouth, of course. Tom Whedon on loan from Bournemouth, Ben Thompson, Cameron Murray and Yemi Odobade. And I'll pass you over to Gary Pascoe for the Dorking team.
Yeah, there's 2 changes in the Dorking team from last week when they beat Bath City away 2-1. In goal, number 1, Sam Howells. Number 2, Isaac Philpott. Number 3, coming in for the injured Sam Beard, is Ben Dyer. Number 4, and skipper today, is Ed Harris. 8 is Noel McManus. 9 is Jason Pryor. 10, Jimmy Mewitt. 11, James McShane. 18 is Matt Briggs. 5 is Lewis Taylor. 15 is Nicky Wheeler. They're the starting 11. The substitutes are Tom Richards. 20, 6, Dan Gallagher. 14, Jake Gallagher. 12, Jerry O'Sullivan. 19, Elliot Buchanan. He's dropped to the bench. And the goalkeeper is number 13, Slav Huck. So that's the starting 11 for Dorking Wanderers, Ben.
And we're about to get underway here, the playoff semi-final that we didn't think was going to happen. Thank you to everybody who's tuning in, joining us from around the country or wherever you are around the world. And we're excited here for 90 minutes of intense action. And just a reminder, if it is level after 90 minutes, Gary, it does go straight to penalties this afternoon.
Yep, straight to penalties.
And the players take the knee, rightfully so, in support of the Black Lives Matter movement. And Dorking get us underway and instantly try to launch the ball out towards the right-hand side. Are we expecting them to keep possession as best we can, Gary, to start with?
They're passed for fun, mate. They're passed for fun. Yeah, they just keep moving the ball left to right, right to left, try and open up and Weymouth up, and then they just try and pick the pockets, so like little pockets in the up front.
There's a loose ball there which Jordan Angalo has managed to pick up. Anthony turns around the corner and McCoy's trying to get on the end of this first time. Jaden Anthony's been tripped in the build-up there. He's asking for a free kick. The referee looking right at it and says nothing at all. And Dorking eventually clear, and it's gone all the way back for Callum Ward's first touch of the afternoon. Did you see a foul in there?
No, I didn't see. I think they might have just got a little coming together there, 2 players. I'm not sure what that was. We haven't got a replay on that one, but yeah, he coming number 11 for Weymouth coming together, and he fell over. He wanted a free kick, like you said.
It was Jaden Anthony, and he was asking for the free kick as Brooks heads it on. It's turned back on the corner, and Kelvin Brooks is going to try and get in towards the penalty area. Flick down, there's a coming together. Andreas Robinson, there's a penalty to Weymouth inside the first minute of the game, and Weymouth have the chance to take the lead. It was Andreas Robinson who got tripped just inside the penalty area. The referee had no hesitation. He pointed to the spot, and it is a penalty to the home side.
Just looking on the replay, and I'm not being biased, it looked like it was outside the box where he got pushed and he fell in. But listen, talking about Ben Dyer getting caught out by the pace, he got caught out on the right-hand side here, got round the back of him, put the ball in, and he got in front of the marker there, and he pushed him. I'm not sure who pushed him, and it looked like it was outside the box, but he fell into the box. But hey,
it was a quick bit of intervention, a header on from Kelvin Brooks, Andreas Robinson getting on the end, and it's going to be the captain, Josh McCoy. Weymouth have had their penalty woes this season. They really have. 5 of their last 7 penalties have been saved, and it falls on the shoulders of McCoy. The whistle blows, he steps up, McCoy, and he sends Weymouth into an early lead. A minute 55 on the clock, and Josh McCoy opens the scoring for the home team, and Weymouth lead Dorking Wanderers in the playoff semi-final, 1-0.
Yeah, well, listen, great penalty, put away really well. Goalkeeper went the right way, but it was such a good penalty. Hit the side of the netting, if you like, and Weymouth go 1-0 up.
Weymouth have a goal kick.
What he's doing, in football terms, Kelvin Brook is cheating. That's the word. What you say in football, he's cheating. He's not coming back. He's just staying high all the time. So when Weymouth break, he's high, so they can get the ball. So what Dorking's got to do, when Dorking win the ball, they've got to try and get Wheeler one-on-one with number 2, which is Camp, and try and get behind him.
What I like seeing about it at the moment is that it's stretching the back 3. If you look at how far Josh McCoy is out over on the left touchline, Calvin Brooks on this one, and Jaden Anthony in the middle as we expected, you can see that they're trying to stretch Dorking, and now Brooks has the ball again, and he lays Jaden Anthony in on goal. The flag stays down, he takes a shot early into the back of the net. Excellent finish from Jaden Anthony. The goalkeeper wasn't expecting him to take it so early, but exactly as we were just talking about, with all the expertise down the right-hand side, Weymouth, within 11 minutes, have doubled their advantage. Weymouth 2, Dorking 0.
I'm not sure about Sam Howes then. Should he be coming? He came out to come to close him down, then changed his mind. He had to backtrack, and then he was in no man's land. Young Anthony done really well, good composure, just slotted it past him. Personally, I think Howes should have stayed where he was and said to him, "Come and beat me one-on-one." But he gave him the opportunity.
I think a lot needs to be said for the 2 clubs, incidentally. In fact, every club has been involved in both the North and South playoffs, so the work they've had to do to get these games on to begin with. Weymouth had a GoFundMe page and raised £35,000 just for the game. Suspicious of a handball against Briggs there, and the referee's given a foul. It was a handball just beforehand.
Yeah, there's handball, that is there. Yeah, well, listen, at the end of the day, Mark White would tell you this: us away teams haven't got to do anything. We just got to rock up and
just turn up.
The home team's got to do all the work, and to be fair to all the home teams, they've done a cracking job. They have.
And it's some sort of irony so far that only away teams have won in the National League South. That's a good ball in, but headed clear by McCarthy. Jaden Anthony juggling with it in midfield, and Garlow can't clear. There's a strike from distance, and it's just spun wide. I thought that may have been destined to the bottom corner there, but it's just spun wide, and Weymouth have a goal kick.
Snapshot by James McShane. Yeah, haven't worked the goalkeeper at all. Hasn't pulled any saves off as the goalkeeper for Wall.
Well, I mean, the funny thing is, neither goalkeeper has. The ball's been in the back of the net twice. As we see the shot again here, it was just sort of bouncing around at the edge of the penalty area, and Garlow was tackled, and it was McManus, I think, who had the shot, and it just spun away from the near post, and Dan Gallagher managed to recover from his initial mistake and then finds Philpott. Philpott plays it out towards Briggs on the right-hand side. Briggs cutting in field, surrounded by players, eventually gets it out, and then it comes out to Dan Gallagher again in the left-back position. Dan Gallagher finds Nicky Wheeler. Wheeler being faced up by Calvin Brooks, again, who's been forced deep. Goes one way than the other. Brooks still watching. It's a really good ball in the box. It's got a free header, and he really should have done better. I don't think he expected it to come all the way through to him. Jimmy Mewett, I think he was expecting him to get his head to the ball. It came through to Pryor. He heads it down. It goes wide of the post, and that's a let-off for Weymouth. Really good ball from Wheeler.
Great cross coming in.
And I think he expected his strike partner to get on the end of it, and he didn't expect the ball to drop as low as it did, and he spurns the opportunity for Dorking Wanderers.
They've been training a few weeks, but match fitness is a different thing.
Totally different thing from match fitness than it is to training every day.
Yeah.
And even the inter-squad friendlies you can do, they're not the same. They don't give you the same intensity.
No.
And it will be interesting to see how much they have left in the tank after, say, the hour mark of this game. As the halftime whistle goes, enthralling entertainment here at the Bob Lucas Stadium. It's been a pleasure to watch. Weymouth got everything under way really quickly as Andreas Roberts was pulled down. It looked as if he was just outside the penalty area when he was pulled down, but Josh McCoy picks himself up, puts the ball into the back of the net from the penalty, and then Weymouth never really looked back. A long ball over the top, which was sort of flicked on, and then Jaden Anthony managed to get on the end, saw the position of the goalkeeper, Sammy Howes, and tucked it into the corner to make it 2-0. Dorking responded really well. They came back into the game. They've put the Weymouth back line to the sword somewhat, but ultimately they haven't managed to break Weymouth's resistance. The halftime score at Bob Lucas Stadium, Gary's Weymouth 2, Dorking Wanderers 0. As we get back underway, Weymouth gets underway at the start of this second half, and Hobson is going to launch long out towards the right wing. Kelvin Brooks is operating quite far forward again at the start of the second half, loses out on the header, and it's hooked back into Weymouth half. Hobson is getting to the ball first, but Pryor certainly put him under pressure. It goes back to Ward, who manages to launch, and Robinson turns around the corner to Kelvin Brooks, who again is operating very high forward, or very far forward at the start of this second half.
Sorry to Ben.
Yeah, carry on.
It looks like James McShane might be just pushing a little bit higher up to be with to link up with Pryor, and Jake Gallagher's just gone into midfield.
What is also interesting is Matthew Briggs down here is now operating a lot further forward than he was at the start of this first half. So we'll see if that's going to try and drag Weymouth out of shape. He's coming deep now, and here he comes with the ball. Full control to start with. Harfield launches forward, and Jaden Anthony's got some room at the edge of the penalty area. He's being faced up. He gets it onto his right foot. He stumbles under the first challenge. It was possibly a foul, but he kept going and tried to be honest, and he was dispossessed by the captain, Harris. Interesting start from Weymouth, but again, it was Dorking's own making that, Gary.
100%. That was like Anthony done really well there. We might get a replay in a minute, but it looked like he did get caught when it's the first challenge in the 18-yard box. Like you said, he was very brave. He was true. He stayed on his feet.
Stayed on his feet. Just caught there, wasn't he? And stumbled slightly, and then an excellent saving challenge to keep the score at 2-0. Matty Briggs heads the ball back in towards the centre of the field and then gets it back down the right-hand side. Harfield standing him up. He's going to go outside of him. He's going to try and get the ball onto his right foot. He gets all the way to the byline, pulls it all the way across the 6-yard box, and it was just cleared by the heels of Jake McCarthy. Callum Ward could get nowhere near it, and Weymouth managed to escape, and they still got the ball here with Brooks. Brooks finds Ben Thompson with his back to goal. He lays it off to Andreas Robinson, and Weymouth have got 2 over on the left-hand side. Jaden Anthony can lay in towards Jordan Angalo. Angalo under pressure from Lewis Taylor, hits it first time, it bounces back off Lewis Taylor and out for a corner. Excellent counter-attack from Weymouth.
We've got a game now, mate. We've got a game on there.
It's just starting to open up a little bit, isn't it? That ball over in the corner there from Dorking was absolutely superb, and
it was a great bit of movement by. We see the highlights in a minute. Here we go. Matt Briggs, look, he gets round him.
He gets all the way to the byline, doesn't he?
Gets a great cross again. But this is what Dorking were doing last Saturday. They were taking their opportunities. This Saturday they're not taking them. Someone needed to be putting that away. And
Jake McCarthy's just going to let that run across his body, and I should imagine he'll touch it back to Callum Ward, and that's exactly what he does.
Yeah, good bit of play there.
Oh, Callum Ward with a really poor ball, and it's been dropped into McShane, and McShane has a shot straight at Callum Ward, who managed to reply, and Callum Ward nearly put his side in a complete peril there, but he does manage to recover in time as we just will prepare for the replay. But it was a really poor ball from Callum Ward. I don't know what it was he saw there.
He could have carried it a little bit
McShane
near
to get a shot across, but then here come Dorking. McShane out towards the right-hand side, and Matt Briggs. Briggs hits it first time towards the near post. Callum Ward's positioning, though, is very, very good, and he hasn't had the best of afternoons, in truth, Briggs, has he, Gary?
No, he hasn't really done well. Had a good game today, must admit, and here we got the highlights coming across.
Yeah, he just tries to play it across the 6-yard box, and he gets his angle slightly wrong, tries to catch Ward out at the near post, and here comes the corner from the right-hand side. It's over absolutely everybody. Dorking asking for a foul as Tom Whelan was seen to judge to have been backing in there. The referee says no. Here comes the delivery back again. Up in the air, Pryor gets his head to it in the 6-yard box, gets a shot away. Dorking score. Excellent finish. Callum Ward is trying not to relinquish the ball, but Dorking have got the goal that they craved, and it's Weymouth 2, Dorking Wanderers 1.
Well, a cracking strike from James McShane there. Took the ball on his chest in the 18-yard box and just slotted it to the right-hand side of the goalkeeper. Here we go. I thought this was a dodgy ball coming in, a long ball, but they didn't deal with that long ball, and Pryor won the header. Comes out to McShane, chest control, lovely strike and turn and put it in the right-hand side of the goal.
Past the outstretched hand of Callum Ward, and now Weymouth only have their 1-goal cushion. It's Weymouth 2, Dorking 1 in this playoff semi-final. Dorking are now going to have their tails up, and they're going to try and get back onto level terms. Just a reminder, if it's still level, or if it is level after 90 minutes, then we go straight to penalties this afternoon. No extra time in these playoffs.
I think second half Dorking Wanderers have come out and caused more problems and had better clear-cut chances in the second half.
Keeps it alive, and then Harris has missed the header. Ben Thompson managed to get on the end of it. He's got Jaden Anthony in support, laid off to Anthony, hits it first time, and he just doesn't keep his composure, and it was not the best of balls to him from Ben Thompson, in truth, and he was stretching slightly, and he just leant back as it goes high and wide, and not the best of efforts.
Should be putting that away, to be fair. He's done well, Thompson, there. played slightly, and he got
slightly behind him.
He just leaning back. He was Anthony, and put it over the bar.
Anthony. Philpott goes down under the challenge, and then Ben Thompson takes it, and he's going to run into space. He's being hunted by Philpott. Thompson has got support in Harfield if he needs him and finds him. Ollie Harfield looks towards the penalty area. Tom Whelan outside the edge of the 18-yard box finds Brooks. Brooks turns it back into the path of Whelan. There's a challenge there. I'm not sure he got anywhere near the ball. Tom Whelan is furious, and I think Dorking may have got away with one there as the referee says play on. Here come Dorking, moving the ball forward with Jake Gallagher, and then there's a lovely ball out towards Richards. Richards takes it not the way he wanted to, but did get it under a spell. Matty Briggs has got some room down the right-hand side if he can be found. Instead, McShane picks it up in midfield and heads it back towards Richards. A poor ball from McShane just in front of him, and I'd be very interested to see this penalty incident again. Tom Whelan came away from that absolutely fuming.
Yeah, he would do, but honestly, I think he got a good tackle on it.
Here we go, here's the replay. The ball was launched initially forward by Whelan. It was turned round the corner. Tom Whelan gets there. At first, it's hard to see from that angle, isn't it?
No, not a penalty. No way, Ben. Come on, let's be fair on that. He won the ball, and the ball's gone away from the player.
I'm just going on Tom Whelan's reaction. He is absolutely
a player's going to react,
adamant that that was a penalty kick.
A player's going to react, no doubt
Either
about
way,
it.
it's irrelevant. The referee didn't give it, and Weymouth certainly got a contentious one in the first half.
Come here.
Dorking, though, picked the ball up in midfield, and now Briggs on the half volley with a shot straight down the throat of Callum Ward, and Callum Ward gratefully receives that in his midriff, and he just jumps down on the ball, and he's going to tick away a few precious seconds for Weymouth as we have played 81. There are 9 minutes of normal time remaining, and that's gone straight down the throat. Bless him, Callum Ward. Again, just a reminder that there is no extra time. If this is level after 90 minutes, it will go straight to penalties. And now here comes Dorking again, trying to force that. Matt Briggs can't control the ball properly. He gets to the byline. It's fallen in the penalty area. And Dorking have equalised. It was a fantastic finish in the end. And it was the substitute Buchanan. And Briggs, for the afternoon they've had so far, hasn't been the best. But he kept the ball alive at the byline. He finds Buchanan, who curls it round Callum Ward. And from 2-0 down at half-time, it's now Weymouth 2, Dorking 2.
Superb goal by Buchanan. Matt Briggs done really well, kept the ball in live, come back from deflection, he picked the ball up from a real hard angle, slotted the ball home. Buchanan, super goal.
Flicked up in the air. Dorking are going to deal with that quite comfortably. Tom Whelan tries to keep it alive, though. It falls eventually to Odobade, who then finds McCarthy, and he puts it in towards Jaden Anthony, and the flag's gone up. The ball is in the back of the net. The flag's gone up, and I think that was tight.
He's offside. Yeah,
8 minutes of added time has been indicated.
Here we go, look at this, look at
and Jaden Anthony is clearly onside as that ball is played through. I did say it was tight, Gary, didn't I?
Well, that evens up the penalty.
Of course.
Evens up the penalty.
Evens up the penalty, yeah.
So okay. I'm happy with that.
Then Tom Whelan needs to go back the other way. He plays it in behind Hobson, really, and then in towards the feet of Ollie Harfield. Harfield, left-footed, out towards McCarthy, across the 6-yard box, and it's in the back of the net! It's an own goal in the end, and it's dropped in. It looked as if Yemi Odobade was going to get on the end of it, but in the end the ball drops into the back of the net, and Weymouth have stolen it with 4 minutes of added time played. Weymouth 3, Dorking 2.
It all come from there. Matty Briggs should have stood up with him. Why did he dive in? He never should have stood up and let the cross come in.
It is Yemi Odobade's goal. It was Jake Gallagher, who's had a very good game since coming on. He gets his foot to the ball and he plays it against Yemi Odobade. It hits his chest. It drops in the net. There's a yellow card being given out there to one of the coaching staff. I didn't see if that was Weymouth or Dorking, but I think it may have been one of the Dorking coaching staff just been posted in the book. There was 3.5 minutes of the allotted 8 to go, and Yemi Odobade, as it stands, has put Weymouth in the National League final. 3-2, 30 seconds, or 35 seconds, I should say, of the allotted 8 remaining. Weymouth and Yemi Odobade are currently heading towards a date with Dartford next Saturday here at the Bob Lucas Stadium, unless Dorking can do something from this corner. It comes in towards the back post. It's hooked back in. Callum Ward's underneath it, and Callum Ward plucks it up in the air, and he gathers it in. And the full-time whistle goes. The full-time whistle goes, an absolute drama at the Bob Lucas Stadium. Unbelievable. It was Yemi Odobade who popped up with a late goal, and he knew nothing about it. It was cleared by the Dorking defender. It bounced off Yemi Odobade's chest. It lands in the corner of the net. Extremely fortuitous, but Weymouth will take it all day long. And Dorking came here to play. It was 2-0 at half-time. Dorking Wanderers made a real go of it in the second half. 2 goals, got it back to 2-2. They were preparing to bring on Slav Huck at the end of the game to take penalty duties for the shootout. It wasn't to be, though, as Yemi Odobade pops up with the vital goal, and Weymouth will be back next Saturday in the playoff final with a home date with Dartford. Final score at the Bob Lucas Stadium, Gary: Weymouth 3, Dorking 2.